If you want a permanent glow, you have to be healthy within.
So, what are the most misconception of cosmetology?
Your skin is only a reflection of your internal system. It is not your Louis Vuitton bag कि वो जो leather है ना वो चमड़ा को मैं ऐसा cherry blossom polish लगा लूँ and I'll make it, polish it and I'll give you a shine. No.
Who is a dermatologist? Who is a aesthetic dermatologist? And cosmetology कहाँ fit होता है इन सब चीजों के अंदर?
But suppose somebody has scars and we want to go deeper, then definitely you have to do it with an aesthetic dermatologist because otherwise you'll have disasters.
Comfortable talking about it is they relate it to anti-aging and they feel that oh इसने anti-aging treatment किया है so she's not naturally young.
My mantra is always less is more.
Why you think Botox get this bad name?
So Botox is not the bad, which freezes your muscles. मैं Botox लगाऊंगी, I'll get frozen.
Do people come to you with unrealistic expectations?
Yes, they will bring photographs of all the actresses and they say, make me look like Madhuri Dixit, make me look like Alia Bhatt. I say, look in the mirror and I highlight their features.
Were there ever a patient you said no?
Many times.
Sometimes do you feel that people get also addicted to it? Yeah.
Definitely, it can be very addicting. I have all lasers, anti-aging, skin tightening treatments, Botox, fillers, and nowadays a new thing is skin boosters.
So after retinol, can I use a moisturizer?
When I'm applying retinol and over that I'm applying say petroleum jelly or any moisturizer, I'm increasing the penetration of it. Do I want that? No, I dump my face in ice cold water to close my pores. That is all, these are assaults on your skin.
When a product reacts on your skin, whether you're a sensitive girl or not, how do we quickly treat it?
Use aloe vera gel, fresh aloe vera gel. That's anti-inflammatory. That will help to calm it down.
This derma roller thing, doing at home,
No.
is it also a DIY?
You are taking the derma roller with the bacteria and you're poking yourself and making the bacteria go in.
What can be the most serious risk involved in cosmetic?
That is, oh.
Welcome, Dr. Bindu, to our show. It's so good to have you today, and we are looking forward to this conversation and learn a lot from you.
Thank you very much for inviting me, and I'm so looking forward to sharing my knowledge and helping everyone. Thank you.
डॉक्टर बिंदु, बिफोर वी स्टार्ट, हमारा पहले ही बहुत कॉन्वर्सेशन हो चुका है, लेकिन फिर भी मैं चाहता हूँ कि आप अपने बारे में कुछ बताएं, who you are and why you do what you do.
Okay, I'm a dermatologist. I'm a clinical and an aesthetic dermatologist. So you will probably have heard of like cosmetology. People know more about cosmetology, but it's like aesthetic dermatology, and a trichologist. So skin, hair, and nails. And I have been in practice since the last 3 decades.
Wow.
And I have been earlier used to do a lot of dermatology only, and then gradually when cosmetology came in, like treatments came in, they started, and I happened to be at the right time at the right place. So I literally started with the basics, and I also realized that when I was practicing dermatology, like many people are not happy with the way the skin and hair looked, and that affected their confidence. So, if someone would have just acne, it of course affected their confidence, and we have medical treatment for acne. But then I realized that there would be marks. Post acne, they have marks. So those marks would affect their psyche so much. And there were people who would not go for office or not go for parties. They would say, I'm canceling an occasion. So that's when I realized that it affected the skin and the hair problems affected their confidence. And hence, I learned more and more, and the knowledge of cosmetology developed at that time. So I learned more and more, went to USA, went to UK, Paris, and learned more of all cosmetology treatments. And I brought it to India, and I started my Skin Smart Solutions clinics. And there started my journey of treatments not only internal as well as external, and individualized treatment for everyone with empathy and backed by science.
डॉक्टर आपने
Wonderful.
बोला कि डर्मेटोलॉजी से आपने स्टार्ट किया बट देन यू यूज द वर्ड कॉस्मेटोलॉजी एस्थेटिक्स सो अगर मुझे इसको ब्रेक डाउन करना हो हु इज अ डर्मेटोलॉजिस्ट हु इज अ एस्थेटिक डर्मेटोलॉजिस्ट एंड कॉस्मेटोलॉजी कहाँ फिट होता है इन सब चीज़ों के अंदर सो ब्रेक इट डाउन प्लीज
Very good question. Dermatology is study of the skin and the hair and the nails. Medical degree hai. Cosmetology is the art and science of beauty treatments.
नाइस ओके
So for that, like there are like a beautician need not be a dermatologist, but he or she will do external treatments.
Okay.
लाइक हमारे सलून और स्पा वाले
हाँ.
सो दे आर कॉस्मेटोलॉजिस्ट बट दे आर नॉट डॉक्टर्स
They are not doctors. Aesthetic dermatologist is like what I am. I am a dermatologist, but I've also done an additional degree from UK, which is aesthetics. So, in addition, not only dermatologists, but also how the treatments on the face have a scientific background.
Okay.
ओके
So it's like a chemical peel. Chemical peel to a beautician can do, a cosmetologist can do, but which chemical peel will go deeper? Suppose somebody has got scars. So you have to go deeper chemical peels, which not only will go to the upper layer of the skin, but it will also go deeper because scars are deeper in the second layer of the skin. So peels also many different types, but the aesthetic dermatologist is trained to go at a particular level and why. And Indian skin is very, very sensitive to post-inflammatory pigmentation. You know, we get a burn, हम kitchen में काम कर दिया, इस्त्री किया or whatever, we get a brown mark. So we are prone to pigmentation. So therefore, any of these external treatments with lasers, with peels, they have to have a scientific background, scientific knowledge कि which level I'm going to. Superficially कर लिया, it's okay, there's no problem. That the cosmetologist will do. But suppose somebody has scars and we want to go deeper, then definitely you have to do it with an aesthetic dermatologist because otherwise you'll have disastrous results.
So you said dermatology, cosmetology, and aesthetic dermatologist, and you broke it down beautifully. But I want to stress on cosmetology only. Now we all have different kind of conception. So what are the most misconception of cosmetology? What do you think that we have?
Cosmetology, what many people think, okay, it's a quick fix. People will come and say, Doctor, मेरे skin में glow चाहिए. So I tell them, your skin is only a reflection of your internal system. It is not your Louis Vuitton bag कि वो जो leather है ना वो चमड़ा को मैं ऐसा cherry blossom polish लगा लूँ and I'll make it polish it and I'll give you a shine. No. I can do exfoliation, we can do all this. You will get a shine only for 1 day or 2 days. But definitely we have to find out why is your skin not glowing. You know, I always tell people that people feel that okay, you have a bath daily, you do exfoliation, you do your routine, your skin should glow. But then you see even children on the road who have not had a bath and their skin glows. Why? They've not done any treatments.
So true.
Yeah.
So remember, skin is only a mirror, it's only a reflection of your internal system. So this by and by, as we go further, I will tell that how you have to listen to your skin. So if you want a permanent glow, you have to be healthy within.
So the glow is also has to do with genetics, or what do you think? Because like I come from hill station. I'm a Pahadi. I'm a Bengali, but I'm a Pahadi also. Like I'm from Darjeeling. So, and I'm a Bengali mix of both, you know, which gives us glow naturally. बहुत मेरे friends बोलते रहते हैं कि we can't like I also I don't have perfect skin. I want to correct, but I have my skin issues and all. But जो कुछ glow होता है वो genetic भी रहता है, right? Because people want like मुझे बता दो कैसे like I tell them what I use, but sometimes they don't get the glow. So is it genetic also?
Yes, Debashri, first of all, you are from Darjeeling, as you said.
Yeah.
So you have to thank Darjeeling ka hawa, you have to thank your parents.
Yeah.
And then, of course, then you have to not thank the Bombay lifestyle.
Yeah, of course. उसके
Okay.
बाद ही problem शुरू हुए.
Yes. So, as it's said that genetics is the gun, the ammunition in the gun, but the lifestyle is the trigger.
Wow.
Beautiful.
Okay.
So beautiful.
So you basically have to thank the mountains and your parents for giving you that lovely skin.
Yeah.
Okay. So, but living in Bombay, the lifestyle definitely matters. Genetics would be 30 to 40%. But 60 to 70% would be lifestyle.
Lifestyle.
I'll give you an example. It's like gray hair. So many patients come and tell me, Doctor, 15 baras mein my child is getting gray hair. So the first question I asked, who in the family has got gray hair? Yes, father has, grandfather has. But the father and grandfather didn't get gray hair at the age of 15. So that means lifestyle.
Correct.
So it's like nowadays many people say that, Doctor, my son is getting bald at the age of 20. So father is bald, yes, father is bald, but father got bald at the age of 50. So the rest is lifestyle. Stress, we have enough. What junk which we eat, we have enough. Sleep. Most of the time people sleep at about 3 o'clock, 3 a.m. And but then the people who sleep at 3 a.m. and say, but doctor, 3 o'clock I sleep, but I wake up at 12. So I have made up my 8 hours or 12 hours of sleep. But the sleep between 11 p.m. to 4 a.m. releases growth factors, growth hormone, which rejuvenates your skin and helps your liver and your hormones to rejuvenate, replenish. That time is very, very essential. I mean, people will say that, okay, so night duty मैं करती हूँ और सुबह को मैं सोती हूँ. No. There is a circadian rhythm. So lifestyle is like that. So therefore, try and sleep by 11 p.m. and wake up by 4 a.m. I know it's not possible. I'm probably just speaking, as an illusionary thing. But these are the factors. So 30% would be your genes and 70% would be your lifestyle. So therefore, we see more and more of these diseases coming much earlier. You must have heard of heart attacks. People now, young people dying at the age of 30. And I mean, as I mentioned, gray hair. I mean, so many diseases. Male pattern baldness. I think I'm now getting an epidemic.
डॉक्टर अभी आपने बोला कि अब there are jobs which requires them to be
Yes,
available at certain hours.
yes.
अब वो उनको skin अच्छी चाहिए. अब situation ये है कि they have to do their job.
Okay. Yes, of
As
course.
as a expert, what should they do?
Yes, I cannot tell them I'll give you a job. I cannot tell them that. They have to take whatever they have to do, they have to do. But so if I say that the factors which harm, let's not use the word harm, factors which affect your skin not in a good way, one is diet. The sugar, all the S's, sugar, the spices, the refined flours,
Fine flour.
So I tell my patients, pizza, pasta, noodles, cakes, pastries, desserts, breads. This is what we eat.
So will they
So-
minimize the damage if
Yeah.
they
So
get it?
yes. So because sugars, maida, all these things, they cause glycation,
Glycation.
and they cause harm. They harm the skin. So therefore, one is your diet. Okay. Dairy nowadays also affects, because unfortunately, cows are injected with prolactin hormones to yield more milk, and when that prolactin hormone, everyone would drink milk or eat paneer. Therefore, we are seeing a lot of PCOS, polycystic ovarian syndrome. We are seeing so much of it. So, dairy is another culprit, sugar, and I said refined flour. So, this is the diet. So, these are the things. I tell them you need not live like a monk or a person in the Himalayas. Eat, but with awareness. That is the diet. Sleep, okay, if they are doing night duties, they can sleep, okay, 8 hours during the day, because everything you can't get in life.
Correct.
So, there at least, okay, you have compromised on sleep, then make sure that you exercise. Stress. Stress is another factor which affects your skin. So, stress, you can definitely act, diet, and exercise. So these 3-4 factors you can act on. It's okay, your night sleep is compromised, it's fine. But the other factors you have to work on. So if you do that, at least definitely you will be somewhere. It's not that all people who are doing night duties, they have bad skin. No, they
No,
don't.
yeah.
They don't.
Of course,
So
yeah.
follow the other right things.
So from an expert point of view, आपको मेरी skin देख के how you rate yours?
It's glowing.
On the scale of, the reason I'll tell you why I'm asking, on a scale of 10, what you rate my skin?
From far, on a scale of 1 to 10, sorry, 10 to 1, if 10 is excellent and 1 is not so good, hers would be 9. Sorry, I have to say
No,
her first,
yeah.
because her skin is 9. Your skin would be a 7.
The reason why I asked this, because मैंने अपनी लाइफ के अंदर 10 to 15 years I worked in night shift, and I was not able, because I have to do the job. So what I was able to control was getting my sleep hours in place, शुगर कट कर दिया, वर्कआउट रेगुलर करता, स्ट्रेस जितना था उसको मैनेज करते थे. फॉर दैट वी हैव पेट्स. तो ऑन द अदर एस्पेक्ट्स आई हैव ट्राइड कंट्रोलिंग इट, सो माई स्किन हेल्थ will remain better, and that's the reason I asked this question, ki how you rate.
Yes, yes. So that's good. So that's what, no, there are 4-5 factors. One factor you cannot control, that's fine. But at least the other 4 you do. So that will compensate for your
Correct.
sleep.
Yes.
Exactly.
It's like, my patients of PCOS, polycystic ovaries, when they come to me and they tell me that, doc, I have a dull skin, and by and by I'll tell you that how, when you listen to your skin, it gives you the answers. So there are many people who have like darkness over here, and the skin has a sort of a underlying pigmentation and an underlying dullness. So all I do is tell them, do a therapeutic trial. I tell them that for, say, 1 week, 1 month to chodo, it's too long. 1 week, cut off all sugars. Totally cut it off. And have adequate water, because when we are in Bombay or when you are in a place where you sweat a lot,
Yeah.
so you lose a lot of water. So I tell them that, okay, cut off sugar for 1 week. That is very doable. 1 week is doable, and have adequate water and do your exercise. And sure enough, in 1 week, they realize that the skin is glowing without doing any external treatment.
तो
Yeah.
इसको हम डिटॉक्स बोल सकते हैं. एक वीक के डिटॉक्स पे चले जाओ, पानी अच्छे से पियो, शुगर्स को कट कर दो, अपनी स्लीप साइकिल को अगर रेगुलेट कर सकते हो अच्छा है, लेकिन 8 to 9 hours ऑफ स्लीप लो, एंड यू विल सी, you start seeing changes within 1 week.
Yes.
And उसके बाद आप कंटिन्यू
And stress is another biggest culprit. In any city, stress is there, and now there is so much happening all over the world. So stress we are bound to face. So what I tell everyone that, see, we all have stress for about 8 hours. We are at work, but once we go home, either when you do exercise, you go to the gym. So when you are exercising, it's a stress buster.
Correct.
So all those 8 hours, you release your cortisol, you release your adrenaline hormones, which are necessary at your place of work. When you, for half an hour, 30 minutes, whatever you like, you go to the gym, you meditate, you listen to music, you read a book, totally switch off.
Right.
That will be your best detox.
You have 30 years of background, ma'am. If I'll just say last decade, apne aesthetic dermatology ko, what are the changes you have seen in the last decade when it comes to aesthetic dermatology, India or globally?
Okay, last decade, I would say initially it was just quick fixes, but those quick fixes never last. But now, as I said, it's more on holistic, more on wellness,
Yeah.
and it's more now regenerative medicine. So, regenerative medicine is we are helping you build your own collagen, so that we don't have to give you, like, yes, of course we do give injections, fillers, botox, all that is there, but regenerative medicine is now, you must have heard of exosomes, you must have heard of PRP and PDRN, and so your own growth factors. Stem cells are also there, but not yet so much out there, still at the moment plant stem cells are there. But this will help you grow your own collagen. So that is regenerative medicine, which is very, very exciting. And that will preserve your, what shall I say, preserve your skin, and at the same time make you look fresher. I never promise anyone who comes and tells me, Doc, I want to look better. I never tell them, say a 40-year-old coming to me, I never tell them, I will make you look 25. No. I will make you look the best version of yourself.
Exactly.
So if a mother-daughter comes, I tell the mother, if she's 50, that I'm not going to make you look 20.
Yeah.
I don't want you to compete with your daughter, and no mother wants that.
Yeah.
So, but I will make you look the best version of yourself. So when you look in the mirror, you feel so confident that yes, I look good. And that is holistic, and that is when we obviously go much deeper and not only just do external quick fixes or lunchtime procedures or anything like that.
So you have mentioned a lot of procedures like Botox, fillers, but I still want to understand more about people and your patient, and what are the most common concern about skin and hair that they come up with to you, especially like your experience.
I mean, most of them, of course, they come with complaints of acne. Nowadays, young and old. Okay. Young, of course, teenage acne, they start at the age of 13 and they continue till the age of 18. And I tell them, some lucky ones continue till the age of 40 and 50. So that is adult acne, and that is because of hormonal imbalances.
Yeah.
And of course, diet and stress and things like that. Then, of course, nowadays we do see a lot of hair fall. Somehow, post-COVID, I'm seeing it's like an epidemic, hair fall. And plus, a lot of stress is causing hair fall. And baldness is, again, hair fall, hair thinning. So that has increased a lot. And another thing which is anyone, young, old, if I tell them, do you want your skin to glow? Yes. मैं 80-year also, if I ask, do you want your skin to glow? They said yes.
Who doesn't
I have, and my oldest patient is 90 years old.
Wow.
What?
90.
Yes, 90 years old, and she comes for, anti-aging treatments. I will not say, there is no harm in doing any of these anti-aging treatments because they all are safe.
Yeah.
So Botox, fillers, all these are safe. People feel that Botox is harmful. It's not. Even a 2-year-old kid is given Botox when, patients of cerebral palsy,
Yeah.
they have spasticity. So they are given Botox over there
Yeah.
to relax the muscle.
Yeah.
Then Botox is very, very effective for migraines. So Botox is not the bad, which freezes your muscles. No, it has other qualities also. So it's very, very safe.
Yeah.
And I mean, I would like to say that it only has a bad name because people feel, मैं Botox लगाऊंगी, I'll get frozen. No, even when people who are actors and they come to me and they want Botox, because I can't freeze them totally. Otherwise, वो गुस्सा करेंगे तो
Expression,
गुस्सा
yeah.
दिखेगा ही नहीं.
हाँ, expression
So
चला
what
जाए.
I do is undertreat it.
Yeah.
Because, and then we also have patients coming and saying, Doctor, I'm not an angry person, but nobody likes to come to me like in an office. No one wants to come to me because I have these two lines here, number 11. तो they think मैं बहुत गुस्से वाली हूँ. तो मेरे पास हाँ frowning line, so they don't come to me only. So now tell me, would it be bad to say that okay, do Botox?
Yeah.
So that's what my point is, that when these things which are available and they have come, like I've been doing Botox since 2000. I was one of the pioneers in bringing Botox and fillers.
Yeah.
So US FDA, from where it has come, they have done enough studies and enough research on it. It's very, very safe, provided it's done by an expert.
Exactly.
So by a, say, a dermatologist, board certified doctor, board certified dermatologist, and if it is done in the right way and the right reason, so sure enough, I gave Botox to her and she was so happy.
Why you think Botox get this bad name?
Because, you know, when they are given Botox, what does Botox do? It is an inactivated chemical which relaxes your muscles. Okay, the word is relaxes, not freezes.
Yeah.
Okay, so now when I'm doing this, obviously I get these lines. So we give Botox over here in the strategic places. So therefore you have to know the anatomy very well. So you give, I give Botox over here, and there are some people who are very expressive. I have 15-year-old, not that I give Botox to a 15-year-old, but 15-year-olds, they have a habit of saying, they raise their
Very
eyebrows,
over.
very expressive.
Yeah.
So they get all these lines, horizontal lines. You know, lines are always formed perpendicular to the activity of the muscle.
Yeah.
So eyebrows, they are always raising, so they get lines like this. So I'm 15-year-old, I do not give, but when they are, say, 20, 25, then of course you give them Botox, you relax that muscle. But why it got a bad name? Because they over-treated it. So even if someone was surprised, that eyebrow would not go up. Even if someone was angry, today if you all have had a fight and he's angry at you, वो गुस्सा दिखेगा ही नहीं. So that's when it got a bad name.
And I also feel कि Botox इसीलिए भी why it has bad name or people don't want to talk about it or comfortable talking about it is they relate it to anti-aging and they feel that oh इसने anti-aging treatment किया है so she's not naturally young but she's done something or he has done something इसीलिए भी लोग छुपाते हैं मुझे लगता है. What do you think?
Yes, that is one. But it's now more and more, it's coming out of the closet. Like my patients, nobody ever knows that they've done any treatment. So I tell my patients, my mantra is always less is more. Okay. People should tell you, you are looking so good. But they should not tell you that, what have you done that you look overfilled or you look overdone.
Yeah.
They should say you're looking good without even wondering what you have done. Okay. So now for Botox, same thing. When they are frozen too much and or even when they are filled too much, that's when people will know that you have done something. And your question was that anti-aging.
हाँ मतलब एंटी एजिंग से रिलेट कर लेते हैं दैट पीपल थिंक ओ शी इज़ डन अप शी इज़ नॉट नेचुरली लाइक दिस. बोटॉक्स और फिलर्स ये दोनों चीज़ से ही लोग इसी चीज़ से रिलेट करते हैं. दे आर नॉट ओपन टू टॉक अबाउट इट इवन इफ दे हैव डन इट. But what I feel is it's okay. It's like makeup. Like if you want to enhance your beauty and if there are tools available, why not, I feel. But people shy away to talk about it openly is because it's related to anti-natural, is what I feel.
Yeah, so here I give an example to my patients. Say, I think 15 years ago, people, very, very few people would color their hair, dye their hair.
Yeah.
Okay. So people, when they would dye their hair, their friends would say, "Dekh, dekh, dekh, उसने काला रंग लगाया है." You know?
Yeah.
They would say that. Now, I have patients who don't color their hair and their friends say, "Please go and color your hair." So we have come a long way.
Yeah.
Similarly, for Botox and fillers and anti-aging also, the mantra is to make the person look natural. Make the person look 40, but a better 40. Now, treatments are available to make you look your best
Yeah.
without making you look artificial.
Exactly.
You can emote, you can express, and at the same time, you can still have few lines, but look human and look a better version of yourself.
Yeah. But I feel that there's a lot of shaming also about it. That's the reason people don't talk about it.
So that is why that's why I'm saying, no, slowly that shift is happening. I will give you an example. This example I've given to many people. There is one patient whom I have who says, "Doctor, I have lot of excessive sweating in my palms."
Yeah.
Exams में लिखना होता है youngsters writing pens, but nowadays of course they have whatever on the laptop, but writing pens, he's saying the ink runs.
Oh God.
So that is a problem.
I didn't know that.
Sweating भी correct.
Sweating. There is one guy who tells me, "Doc, Diwali May and now November, he has, like many patients, they've been coming to me when there is a wedding season. He's saying, I have to shake hands with so many people. I cannot have sweaty palms. So Botox, it's so simple. You give Botox in the palms, it's safe, and it lasts for about 6 to 8 months. Then there are people who have excessive sweating underarms. I used to have a girl who told me that, "Doc, I always wear black." I said, "Why?" She said, "Because my shirts then get a stain.
Yes.
So I always wear black, and in fact, I always buy 2 t-shirts of the same design. I wear it from home, and in the afternoon, I go to the restroom and I change."
Oh God.
So you can imagine going through life like that. So Botox is the solution. So it improves the quality of life.
Yeah.
So therefore, these things which have come for anti-aging are there to help you. It's not always for vanity. And if your eyebrows are falling, or if you have the frown lines, if you have the crow's feet, it's fine.
Yeah, there's no harm if someone wants to look better and confident, and there are these tools available. Why not?
Why not?
Yeah.
Why not? That's what I said. No, the caution is it has to be done with the right person.
So the biggest myth around using Botox is not just for the face. Botox can be used for anything other than face also.
Yes, for excessive hyperhidrosis, we call it.
So, doctor, earlier you said that your patient came and she wanted to look like 20 years old and 50 years old. बहुत ही unrealistic. So, like that, do people come to you with unrealistic expectations and, give us some examples?
Yes. They will say that they will bring photographs of all the actresses, and they say, make me look like Madhuri Dixit, make me look like Alia Bhatt, make me look
So
like
that-
Deepika Padukone. Of course.
Is it possible?
Then, as I told you, I believe in holistic treatment. So what I do is, suppose she came and told me, make me look like, of course she looks good herself, but if she says, make me look like Alia Bhatt, so what I tell my patients, I say, look in the mirror and I highlight their features. Everyone is good. Everyone has good features. But right from childhood, whatever reason, we have an insecurity, we have lack of confidence, whatever it is, I tell them, look at the lovely eyes which you have. Highlight those eyes. Look at the lovely lips you have. So I always tell them, when you highlight those and maybe improve on those, your own features, you will look great.
Yeah. And I think it's also because of social media pressure that, and even, Alia Bhatt, Deepika Padukone, or anybody, what we see on the screen is not 100% realistic, because even they have their flaws. Even Alia Bhatt has spoken about her flaws, like she has freckles and she's comfortable showing them. So being comfortable in your own skin is what matters, and enhancing that, of course.
That's what it's now that we are all coming out into our own skin.
Yeah.
Earlier, there was so much of body shaming. People would say, you're so fat, you're so thin, your skin is so bad, your hair is so dull, it
Yeah.
looks like this, it looks like that. But nowadays, I like the way children are brought up.
Yeah.
These things are not told to them. They have to accept what they have. Therefore, when someone comes to me and says, do this, like this one, I tell them, you have great eyes, highlight them. You have great cheeks, learn to do this. Okay, lips, I tell them, many people, you'll realize that they have thin upper lip. बहुत लोगों को होता है. So, okay, that if it needs, I will say, okay, I can augment it a little bit. Then there is something called a gummy smile.
Oh, what is that?
Gummy smile is when people smile, gums दिखते हैं.
Acha.
Akshay Kumar?
हाँ?
Like Akshay Kumar.
Yeah. So,
They don't like it sometimes.
yeah, no. So that can be made more aesthetically pleasing.
Pleasing.
How? We just give a little Botox.
So it won't lift too.
So, correct. These muscles which go up and they reveal a lot of your gums.
Yeah.
We just relax this muscle over here by giving Botox. So this muscle doesn't go up so much.
Yeah.
Simple.
Yeah.
It's so simple. And there is no shame in this.
Of course.
Where is the shame in this?
What's the age of the youngest patient you have done aesthetic procedure on?
I think she was 20. Yeah. 20. It was probably, no, not even 20, 21, 22. Yeah. She had a very bad frown line and she was getting married. She's saying, doc, please do something. ये मेरे में लगेगा मैं गुस्से में हूँ और मैं खड़ी हूँ stage पर. Yeah. So that was the thing.
But were there ever a patient you said no?
Many times. I say, you don't need it, I will not do. Many times. Therefore, I get reference from patients who say, go to her. If you don't need it, you will not be given. I have patients who refer their friends. It's like you have come to me and I've told you, okay, you need this much and you don't need this or you don't need that. So obviously you will send your friend that you go to her, she will give you the right advice. Many patients, I say, you don't need anything. You absolutely don't need anything. No invasive treatment you need. I tell them very, very honestly, I always feel that you're always answerable to your own self.
Yeah.
So,
How true.
yeah, you're answerable to yourself. No one else is going to ask me, तुमने ये क्यों किया? I'm answerable to myself. I get good sleep at night. So as far as possible, what the patient requires, you do it. Otherwise, no. No false promises.
So, doctor, like we are talking about cosmetic procedures so much, Botox, filler, and there are many more. And sometimes do you feel that people get also addicted to it and it can also go wrong sometime? And also I want to know like the risk involved in it. Is there, if there is any? Like,
Yes, of course. To answer your first question, yes, it can be very addicting.
yeah.
Definitely, it can be very addicting. I have patients saying that when we do, say, we have lasers. I have all lasers, anti-aging, skin tightening treatments, Botox, fillers, and nowadays a new thing is skin boosters. Skin boosters is is when your skin, see what happens when, we have, I would say, stress. Our lifestyle sometimes is such, we haven't slept well. After all, we are human. We go
Right.
through our own stresses and of life. So the skin becomes dull. So as I said, nowadays, more than external treatment, internal treatment is there. There are injectable skin boosters. They are hyaluronic acid. Hyaluronic acid is a part of your skin. So as we grow older, or sometimes when we have faced life, had illnesses, COVID, or any, say, malaria, dengue, all those, your skin also takes a beating, no?
Yeah.
So the skin becomes dull. So we inject very superficially into the skin their skin boosters. So that is hyaluronic acid, and that is in your skin and it attracts water. Hyaluronic acid attracts 1,000 times its weight of water. So it hydrates the skin and your skin glows.
So you are saying these are apart from fillers.
Apart from fillers. These are
Okay.
all now new things.
Okay.
And they are very good. Yes, and answering your second question, can anything? Yes, they are addicting. Of course, today I've done skin booster and I've done treatments, or I've done laser toning and my skin is glowing. So obviously after some time I want to repeat it.
Yeah.
Can anything go wrong? Of course, anything can go wrong. Number one, say with a laser, okay, you can get laser burns. Even laser hair removal, it has to be done by a board certified doctor, dermatologist. Because we then looking at the skin, we give the parameters. So laser toning also, you can get burns. Okay.
I just want to stop you here. You said that laser hair removal should be done by a dermatologist or proper certified doctor. But nowadays, there are so many clinics who are doing it.
No. In the clinic, in my clinic also, I don't do it. My therapists do it, but under my supervision. So we will see the patient and we will say that, okay, her skin color is like this, the hair color is like this, the hair thickness is like this, and the hair length is like this. So you use these parameters. So all that is told by the doctor.
And if not done properly, then what
You
are
can
the...
get burns. You can get skin burns.
You can get more hair also if you do.
You can get more hair. That's called paradoxical hair. Yes, that's what. No, this session can go on for one day. That also won't be enough. Paradoxical hair is when insufficient energy is given. So that feeds the hair. So then the hair becomes thicker. Okay, so that is paradoxical hair. Then coming back to, say, fillers. We can get vascular occlusion. That can lead to like necrosis. I don't want to say one very, very strong like side effect, blindness. Yes.
If under eye fillers.
No, it can be even in the face anywhere. Therefore, you have to do it by a board certified doctor, dermatologist. Many side effects. Botox. Now, Botox mein kya hota hai? Of course, Botox, these things are reversible. Suppose it's not given properly.
Yeah.
You can get your eyebrow droop. You can get an eyelid droop. But that goes away in about 2-3 months. So these things can happen. They, of course, can occur. And side effects, so I always say even aspirin has side effects, but it gives life to so many people.
Coming to
But
the-
honestly, talking about like what can be the most serious risk involved in cosmetic. So
I said, no, blindness.
okay, that is the extreme.
That is, I haven't had any case. Thank God. No.
So the doctor, a person with a sensitive skin, and if this person comes to you and do an aesthetic procedure, what is that one aesthetic procedure a sensitive person, a person with sensitive skin can also do?
Okay, now first let me define what is sensitive skin, correct?
Yes.
Every patient feels my skin is sensitive. Sorry, this 90% of patients will say my skin is sensitive. So I said, हाँ, भगवान ने फुर्सत से ही बनाया है.
मेरा
Of course, everyone is special. Yeah, your skin would be sensitive because you are from the mountains. Yes. What is sensitive skin? A skin which reacts to a normal substance which a normal skin would not.
Correct.
Correct?
Yes.
Suppose now I'm applying, say, glycolic acid. I'm just giving an example. आप लगाओगे glycolic acid, आपको कुछ नहीं होगा. When she applies glycolic acid, her skin will become red, inflamed, stinging, burning. That is sensitive
Exactly,
skin.
yeah.
That is one. So, does everyone have, can anyone get sensitive skin later? Yes. Suppose you now have done over exfoliation. आपको किसने बताया कि ओके आप ग्लाइकोलिक एसिड भी लगाओ, रेटिनॉल लगाओ, विटामिन सी लगाओ, डू योर 10 layers of all these treatments, you do all those, your skin has been over stripped.
Oils. Overstood on
Your
natural
natural skin barrier.
is damaged.
Yeah, your natural skin barrier is like the bricks, correct? So that bricks, and over that there is also what we call as a stratum corneum. Anyway, your natural skin barrier has got stripped. So it has made you vulnerable, sensitive to the normal air, water, normal ingredients like which you were using before.
Yeah.
So sensitive skin you can be born with, and people who are born with, they have eczema, they have rosacea. Those are like sensitive skin. But in the course of your life, for whatever reason, you can get. Okay. So you have sensitive skin. Now you have come to me and you're telling me, Doc, what do I do? I, of course, want to do treatments. Yes. So I tell those people, you have to use ingredients, which are mild. You can use soapless cleansers. See, rosacea is one where your skin goes red. What happens? Your skin goes red, there is vasodilatation. The blood vessels are open, so the skin looks red. Okay? So starting with cleansers, use cleansers which are soapless cleansers. Okay? Mild cleansers, use those. Then moisturizers. You have to use moisturizers which have ceramides, which have hyaluronic acid, which have lipids. So they will help to restore the barrier. Then you want to use a sunscreen. You have to use a sunscreen. We can take a session on sunscreen some other time. Yeah, some other time. That I can tell you lots. There are many, many myths about sunscreens, but you have to use a sunscreen because we sit in front of digital devices and they emit blue light. Okay, so sunscreen you have to use, and the sunscreen for a sensitive skin can be just plain zinc oxide.
Okay.
You get those sunscreens, okay? Physical sunscreens. There is a physical sunscreen and a chemical sunscreen. So chemical sunscreens may react. So physical sunscreen containing zinc oxide.
So sensitive skin, you just explained that it isn't a type. आपका skin barrier compromise हो गया है और आपको उसको repair करना है. Let's say if sensitive skin is a type of that person.
Yes, like hers.
So if she wants to come to you for an aesthetic treatment, just what is the one treatment she can do under your guidance?
Okay, for her, I would say we do have treatments for sensitive skin. There is something called IPL, intense pulse light therapy. That is just a light which will decrease the redness. And when we apply anything on your skin, even before, they all have to be mild. All have to be like, say, hyaluronic acid, or they have to be some ingredients which will help to soothe your skin. So those creams will be applied, and the IPL is very, very safe, and that can be used on your skin type. And following that, a moisturizer and a sunscreen. I'm already anticipating next question. Docs, everybody is talking of retinol. Can I use retinol? Because nowadays retinol is anti-aging, no? Everybody knows that much that, okay, retinol is anti-aging.
Yeah.
So you will ask me that, Doc, I need to use retinol. Yes, under my supervision, definitely you can use, because your skin also will age later. It will show lines. So how can you prevent it? So retinol also can be used, but it has to be used judiciously. It has to be used slowly. And I always tell my patients, I think I will tell how to use retinol. So that could be a take home for them, for anyone, not only sensitive skin.
Yeah.
Retinol, when you have to begin, it has to be under doctor's supervision, number one. You cannot say, my friend uses it, so I want to use it. When you use retinol, it has to be gradually. So what I tell my patients is that first start with alternate day therapy or even twice a week at night. Retinol ideally should be used at night. The retinol, that is vitamin A derivatives, I'm talking of tretinoin, all those, and even retinol, because it gets oxidized, so therefore we advise to use it at night. So you can start initially with twice a week for 2 hours.
Only for 2 hours.
Initially, only your skin has to be retinized. It has to accept that. So use it for 2 hours. I tell my patients, use it about, say, 7 o'clock, wash it off at 9 o'clock, and then you can apply a moisturizer on top and go to sleep.
So you directly can apply retinol?
Directly, yes. I'm coming to this Insta university. So I tell my patients, as a dermatologist, you have to use it directly. No sandwich technique. Because आप पहले moisturizer लगाओगे, उसके बाद retinol लगाओगे, the moisturizer is forming an impermeable barrier. It's impermeable, no? How much is that retinol going to go in and act onto your skin? No. So start gradually and increase the frequency. So twice a week for 2 hours, then make it alternate nights twice a week, and alternate nights for 2 hours. Then you can increase the frequency, increase the duration, make it whole night. Alternate nights, whole night. And if the skin is sensitive, then I stick to just alternate night, and the other nights use a moisturizer.
I have one more question here. So when you said increase the duration, so after retinol, can I use a moisturizer if I have to keep
After
it?
you wash it off. No. No, I know your question. Your question is that I'm using it for 2 hours. Over that, can I use a moisturizer?
No, that I have to wash it off. If I have to keep it overnight, then can I use a moisturizer over it?
No, your skin is getting used to the retinol. Retinol acts on the skin. Let it act.
So if I understand you correctly, even if I keep it for 2 hours or overnight, only retinol, nothing else after that. And before that, just cleansing your face.
No
We have-
moisturizer also.
No, that's what I said. This is why I'm giving you the reason. If you apply a moisturizer underneath, it is forming an impermeable barrier. Number one. Your question would be that, doc, over the retinol, let me use a moisturizer. Okay, there also I have an answer. When you apply something over it, it increases the penetration. Suppose today I have say we have a skin allergy, and some people have a lot of cuts and all that. So you know what I tell them? Especially on the feet. You know, on the soles they have, over here on the heel they have cuts. So I tell them, apply tincture benzoin, and over that apply a layer of Vaseline petroleum jelly, so that the tincture benzoin goes in and it heals that crack. So when I'm applying retinol and over that I'm applying, say, petroleum jelly or any moisturizer, I'm increasing the penetration of it. Do I want that? No, I want your skin gradually to get retinized.
Wow. I mean, it's
So in the long run,
Amazing.
if it gets retinized, then
I have patients who've been using for 10 years, 15 years, 20 years tretinoin. And if you see them now, that is clinically proved with medical studies that it is an anti-aging therapy.
is retinol is the only.
No, from retinol, then I graduate them up to tretinoin because they are under my supervision. So if anyone is coming to me and they say, Doc, I want to use it. So first I will start with retinol. So earlier, retinols were not available, but now they are available. So therefore I start with retinol. So the reactions we don't get so much. Otherwise, if you start retinol tonight, whole night, next day I will get a call from you, Doc, my skin is red, burning, itching, because your skin is showing the irritation.
Yeah.
So start with retinol. Every night you do retinol. You have done it for few months. Then I'll graduate you to tretinoin.
If a skin barrier cannot tolerate retinol, but anti-aging is on that person's mind, what other ingredient?
No,
can-
you started this way, it'll definitely do it.
So you're saying it will work the way you have said
Yes.
it.
If it's done right. Okay, now since you're asking me a little,
So, Doc, what are the most common triggers that worsen the skin barrier or increase the sensitivity of the skin?
what is the function of a skin barrier? The function of the skin barrier is it prevents mainly the water loss from underneath the skin. That's what we call as transepidermal water loss. ये बहुत सुना होगा, TEWL, transepidermal water loss. So if our skin barrier is compromised, it's like many people tell you that, doctor, my skin is so dry, it's itching. So the skin barrier is compromised. It can be due to many reasons that I'll come to. So the transepidermal water loss is lost. It's increased, so the skin becomes drier. It becomes a cycle then, okay? That is one. And also it acts as a barrier to the bacteria, to the pollutants, to the chemicals entering into your skin and underneath in your deeper layers of the skin. So that acts as a barrier. Now, how does it get compromised? How does it get damaged? Okay, so as I said once, if someone is born with, say, eczema, many people are born with eczema, they have asthma, and so they always have eczematous skin. So if they have eczema or if they have rosacea, what I mentioned, so that is then the skin barrier gets compromised that they're born with. Can it happen that I have very good skin and suddenly my skin barrier is compromised? Yes.
Yes.
You have been into London, you have been to Darjeeling in the cold 0 degrees, minus degrees, excessive cold, dry weather. So what does it do? It irritates your skin. Your skin cannot take that extreme dry cold. Your skin cannot take extreme heat. There are, like, suppose somebody say, there are patients who've been telling me, doctor, I steam my face every day. Why? Because I feel somebody told me it's good for your sinuses, or it's good for your skin, it's good for my pores. There are some people who say, doctor, I dunk my face in ice cold water to close my pores. That is, all these are assaults on your skin. Excessive cold, excessive heat, say some people who are cooks, who are in the kitchen, who are chefs, they are in the heat all the time. Their skin barrier definitely can get compromised. I'm not using the word damaged. It can get compromised. Yes, dunking in ice cold water, your skin will get damaged. Okay.
What about washing your face with water?
I am coming. Washing your face with hot water, it'll strip all your natural oils. And over exfoliation. You are using retinol, you are using glycolic acid, you are using vitamin C, and you do microdermabrasion, you are doing derma roller at home, you are doing scrubbing at home. That is removing your physical barrier, your skin barrier. You are making your skin more sensitive. So sure enough, you start getting sensitive skin and you then react to anything and everything which earlier you could tolerate. So who's doing it? You yourself. So you have to be careful. All these irritants, all these things, it has to be in moderation. There are patients who come to me or who even take teleconsults and they say, Doc, but I live in London. What should I do? Yes, so what you can do is, you can apply thick, say, petroleum jelly. That is a barrier. You can apply that, or thick creams, which are ceramides. So apply that as a thick layer. Over that, apply your sunscreen and go out. You have to go out. You're living, you have to go grocery shopping or whatever. You're going to Darjeeling, you have to go out. So apply this as a protective barrier. And of course, nowadays, thanks to COVID, masks. Wear your mask. You are officially allowed to wear a mask. So wear your mask, and that is a physical barrier. So do that. And then obviously you're protecting your skin. And when you want to wash, use only lukewarm water.
You said you paused a little when you said barrier damage and barrier compromised. What is the difference?
You know, if I use a very extreme word, damage, people feel, oh God, I've damaged my skin. So you will damage your skin if you have extremes like dunking in ice cold water or using like dry, people go to sauna.
Yes.
Oh,
Sauna and steam, they go. Sauna, they will tell you just go for literally 1 minute.
okay.
We cannot tolerate.
I would advise, I tell all my patients, do not go to sauna.
Really?
Yeah, it's dry heat. But if you feel you want to go, then take a wet towel or a wet napkin, cover your face, and then go. Okay?
So you are suggesting not.
That is damage. But if you are steaming your face, say once in a week, you have a cold, many people want to do that. That also, if you do it more often, you are compromising it. It's not fully damaged.
Damaged.
Yeah, but full damage will be all this.
So can you reverse it from
Yes,
damage?
yes, you can definitely. Like if you're out in the sun, suppose today you've gone hiking. As he said, if he's gone hiking and for about 8 hours, you apply a sunscreen, you wear a cap, you wear dark glasses, and okay, you may wear a mask. Still, you may. The skin barrier or the skin may feel sensitive. To restore it, when you come back home, you make sure that you apply soothing creams. So even aloe vera gel, the natural aloe vera, many people ask me this question. Yes, it's anti-inflammatory. So it is soothing. You can apply that. Then you can apply creams which have moisturizing like ceramides and lipids, peptides. All those are very soothing. Niacinamide is also one of the ingredients which can be very, very soothing, and it helps to restore the skin barrier faster. So do these things, and of course sunscreen. Definitely the skin barrier gets restored.
Doctor, what's your take on Sika?
Sika,
Centelica asiatica as a barrier?
Yeah, because nowadays
Is
a
it
lot
good
of
for
moisturizer.
Yeah, Centella asiatica, no? Or Sika. Yeah, those are good. Calendula, these are all good. They are skin barrier repair creams. Yes.
Is there a specific time one should, like you said about ceramides, peptides, these creams or moisturizers should be included by someone who has a compromised barrier? Is there a time when they should include Sika in their routine?
So I will use Centella asiatica and I will use Calendula only if there is a damage or a compromise. Normally, there is no need to use it. No, there is no need to use it.
Can pollution play a role in damaging your skin barrier too?
Yes, definitely. Good question. See, pollution nowadays, because of pollution, there is so many chemicals. And because of the chemicals, of course, they damage your skin. So first thing is the barrier. Then next thing would be hard water. Many people ask hard water. Hard water deposit, no, Bombay has soft water, but Ahmedabad and all has hard water. So that deposits minerals on your skin. That can also compromise. That can also damage your skin barrier. And then, of course, all the other like occupational. That can. So pollution and all these things. So your question is, to answer your question, whether normally, routinely, we should use products which have these skin barrier repairs. Can use if you feel that you're reacting more to ingredients which you earlier could tolerate. Say, we have an example sitting over here with sensitive skin. I would not want her to use exfoliants regularly, like say AHA and
Vitamin C.
Vitamin C is still not so bad. It's an antioxidant. So that I do advise patients to use. So her, I would advise vitamin C to use. It's an antioxidant. You know, when we are facing the sun, so because of the exposure to the sun, there is production of reactive oxygen species, that's what we call as ROS, or free radicals, and they damage the DNA of your skin. Yes, that damages the DNA of the skin. So therefore, antioxidants like vitamin C, vitamin E should be used. Now you will say that normally our skin is equipped to do that. You know, we are born that our skin will heal those and neutralize those free radicals. But overexposure, our skin, the antioxidants also have got saturated. So therefore, we need additional like vitamin C application. So I tell people, like in the morning, try and apply your vitamin C serum under your sunscreen. So first apply the vitamin C or the vitamin E serum, and then apply the sunscreen. But there are some people who react to vitamin C also.
Even I do.
Yes, yes. So, no, this I have seen. Therefore, with experience, I'm telling you. So, first you do a patch test for anything, so you can apply it over here, and then see if you react to it, then you don't use it. And then maybe a vitamin E you can use. Vitamin E is not so reactive. That you can use.
So a person with sensitive skin who cannot tolerate retinol but wants to have a repair routine in place, what are the alternatives of retinol?
Bakuchiol is there.
Bakuchiol.
Bakuchiol is there, and that can be used. And also remember a word of caution: people who are planning to get pregnant should not use retinol, should not use salicylic acid. So they should be very careful what they are applying, because it's people feel ye to khali lagaya hai. So what happens? No, whatever you apply on the skin definitely penetrates and it can enter your bloodstream. And if you're planning a pregnancy, do not use all this. Please ask your dermatologist, and do not use retinol, salicylic acid. Bakuchiol is safe. Yeah, Bakuchiol. So for sensitive skin, I tell my patients as an anti-aging, you can start using Bakuchiol. Or even alpha hydroxy acids, what you mentioned, there is a group called polyhydroxy acids. That is PHAs, that is lactobionic acid. So those are very moisturizing, and at the same time they are also hydroxy acids. So the mantra is tailoring the treatment or bespoke treatment to the individual genetics and the lifestyle.
So a skin barrier checklist is ceramides, hydroxy acid like PHAs, alternatives of retinol like bakuchiol, which actually help in barrier repair, and eventually is good for person with sensitive skin.
Yes, even vitamin E serums, they are good. That can be used. Vitamin E, then the peptides can be used. Niacinamide can be
What's
used.
your take on these scrubs? We spoke about the peelings, hydroxy AHAs, the peelers, but the face scrubs as a person with
Those beads. No. So, first of all, earlier there used to be acrylic beads, then plastic beads. All these are harmful to the
Even walnut.
environment. Yeah. Physical scrubs, walnut, yeah. So, I tell my patients there is no need to take some physical thing and scrub it. ये कोई बर्तन नहीं है. You know, in my beginning years of practice, there was this has remained right till now. One patient told me that, doc, वो जो बर्तन घसने का वो स्क्रबर होता है ना, वो मैं बैठ के घसती हूँ. I said, क्यों? ये बर्तन नहीं है, ये स्टील के बर्तन नहीं है, ये तुम्हारी स्किन है. So there is no need. It's only, as I said, normally your skin exfoliates. Normally. But as the skin matures, the outer layer does not exfoliate so easily, so the skin looks dull. So little exfoliation you can do, and that need not be with beads or with brushes or with anything. I normally give a DIY. अगर आपको करना है, so maybe I'll tell the DIY here. I tell them, and sensitive skin should not use any DIYs. Okay, I tell them take moong dal. You know, whatever we eat, you coarse grind it, and just scrub it. There are no preservatives, no fragrances, nothing. It's as natural as you can get. So keep it in your bathroom, take a little bit, and if you have sensitive skin, you can grind it very finely. Correct? So it's not going to cause. What is the flip side of scrubs? That is the particles. They can cause micro tears, which you will not make out. No? So when you grind it, then you will have no micro tears or anything. And even if you coarse grind it, his skin will be able to take it, generally.
Yeah, but doctor, about the natural ingredients, I feel that sensitive skin also reacts to essential oil.
I said no DIYs for sensitive skin. I said no.
Doctor, you said just a DIY. This derma roller thing, doing at home,
No.
is it also a DIY?
It is a DIY. I would not advise. Good you brought up this question. See, when we use a derma roller on a person who's coming to the clinic, okay, and actually, I mean, derma roller is good. Microneedling RF, derma rolling, they cause micro channels onto your skin, and the length of the needles also, it depends on what level we wanted to go. For acne scars, we wanted to go a little deeper, and for just rejuvenation, it's literally 0.5. So these derma rollers, when we use on your skin, when you come to the clinic, we sterilize them. In my clinic, I will use it once and I will throw it. I do not reuse it. I do not re-sterilize it, because Bombay being a hot and a humid environment, microorganisms, bacteria grows like this. So, as an example, I tell my patients, if you feel natural, there is nothing like a natural cosmetic. You make chutney, you take coriander and you put little salt and you put whatever. You make chutney and you keep it outside for 2 days, 3 days. I'm talking of Bombay, not Darjeeling. There will be fungus on it. There will be bacteria on it. So imagine you are putting that on the face. Then the patient tells me, Doc, but then how does my grandmother make pickles? And that is lying outside. Yes, but I said, have you seen the layer of oil? That oil is the preservative. That excess salt is the preservative. But coming back to our derma roller. So we use the derma roller. The companies do advise you can use it, say 2-3 times, sterilize it with, we have our ways of sterilizing, but I say no. So when you are using it, mostly you're keeping it in the bathroom. Forget bathroom, you are keeping it in your room. There is bacteria everywhere. So you are taking it and you are probably washing it and reusing it. Imagine the bacteria. It's heaven helps you, God helps you that you haven't had an infection. But otherwise, you are taking the derma roller with the bacteria and you're poking yourself and making the bacteria go in. I do not advise. Strictly do not advise.
Okay, doctor, now we are both of are in this profession where we have to test a lot of products, and me being a sensitive girly, I have to put a lot of things and promote a lot of things. Some products suit me, some product don't suit me because I'm a sensitive girly after all. But when a product reacts on your skin, whether you're a sensitive girl or not, how do we quickly treat it? What is, suppose I use one product, one serum today, and it reacted, or any face wash or anything reacted. How do I quick fix it? What is your one mantra?
That is, okay. Only to you, I can tell you is that if you do react to it, right away you will feel your skin is burning. So listen to your skin. So your skin is burning, stinging, irritation, wash it off immediately. When you wash it off immediately, you will have to come to my clinic, take a consultation, and I will then prescribe a cream. It'll have to be a corticosteroid cream. I will not tell the name, but then everyone and anyone, I don't want them to use it, because earlier this also people used to use it and they would say, oh, my skin has become so good, you also use it, you also use it. And that's how steroids have been overused, misused, and caused a lot of problems. So that's why I said, when I see you for a consult, I will give you, but it is a steroid cream which will give you a quick fix.
So there's no like I cannot do anything at home to heal immediately or to get
So
some relief.
to heal immediately, wash it off right away, use aloe vera gel. Fresh aloe vera gel. That's anti-inflammatory. That will help to calm it down.
Like no other.
Calendula and all these creams will also help to heal. Yes, yes.
So, doc, does dairy, eating spicy food, alcohol, I mean, they're not the normal irritant, but can they also make your skin reactive?
Yes. All these things, normal population, no. Alcohol, yes, of course, it may harm your liver if you're only having alcohol and not judiciously. Skin, yes, there are some people who start getting what we call as rosacea. You get redness here, and this I want to tell people, things like alcohol, spicy food, all the S's, spice, spirits, sun, and sorry?
Anything dairy?
Sugar, and cheese, chocolate, dairy, these things can make your skin go red, and they give you, your cheeks, your forehead, and your chin goes red. Your nose skin goes red, and slowly, your nose gets bigger and bigger and thicker. So please stay away from all this. And that, no medical treatment. We have to do a physical treatment where they will chisel out your nose. So don't go in for excess of all this. And these are the things can affect, but only some people. Not everyone's skin reacts to all this. Because there are so many people who have spicy pickles all the time. But some skins do react and they get this redness on the face.
Okay. So lastly, doctor, I want to ask you, aging gracefully in future with technology. What do you have to say about that? Like what do you see in future?
So aging gracefully, actually, yes, that also now has changed. People want to age gracefully, naturally. They have come to terms with it. And if we holistically go that way, so that's what I tell patients, that skin is a mirror, is a reflection. Listen to your skin. If anything you've applied and your skin is burning, that means your skin is telling you something. There are many, many illnesses which we can diagnose by just looking at your skin. Like, underarm darkness, the face getting tanned, that can be a sign of diabetes. So holistic treatment goes a long way. And nowadays, everyone wants to look good. But I always say, therefore, you have to get treated holistically. Just external quick fixes are not the treatment. And you have to always make sure that you are looking the best version of yourself, and there is no shame, there is no harm in doing treatments which are safe, and they are targeting you internally as well as externally. So it's both. So what I tell my patients is that, this is a quote which I've heard, that many beautiful people may or may not be healthy, but all healthy people look beautiful. So my mantra is, eat right, think right, and treat your skin right.
How beautiful, how beautifully.
Thank you.
To end this conversation, thank you so much, doctor. It was so much fun talking to you, honestly. I mean, this was one of the best conversation we had, and it was so natural and so fun. I mean, it was
Yeah,
not just gyan, but it was, you are more than a doctor. You are a beautiful teacher. I feel that You teach very well. Then being a doctor, of course, you have experience of a doctor and so much experience, but you're a great teacher. That I must tell you.
Yes,
Thank you.
You decoded, dissected the complex of the information in such an easier way, even a 10-year-old can understand. Before we wrap up, your one piece of advice to the audience who's watching this podcast.
Treat your skin as a natural living tissue which is talking to you. So listen to it, pay attention to it, and treat it with TLC, tender, loving care.
How
Perfect,
amazing.
perfect.
Thank
Perfect
you,
way to close it.
doctor. Thank you so much.
Thank you, doctor.
Thank you.